Alrighty, let's test Roblox, and I decided to play Phantom Forces in 4K. And I can immediately tell you guys from going from 1080p to 4K, I used to have a 32-inch TV, now I'm down to a 28-inch monitor. Probably a little bit too small for 4K, but I can definitely say that the textures look so much sharper, especially far away. There's nothing that's blurry anymore. As you can see, look at how tiny the chat is. Look at how tiny the map is. I mean, you're basically running 4 times more pixels on here, but you do need 4 times more graphics power because you're running 4 times more pixels. So, for example, I only tested Dirt Rally so far, but I completely maxed it out, turned off advanced blending, and MSI was on 2 times. I got 80 to 90 FPS, and on 1080p I usually got like probably around 180 to 250 FPS on that game. It's quite amazing. I probably should have got 1440p instead of 4K, just because it's not as intensive to run and everything is super tiny. Which in Windows you can adjust the size of everything to make it like the images and stuff bigger. The problem is it also does that to the games, so you kind of end up with all these things going wrong, which kind of gets really annoying. Especially it does that with Roblox too. If you make the that guy was waiting for me. If you do make the scaling a little bit bigger, then it'll also affect how Roblox looks as well, and it'll just look kind of bad because it's being scaled. And oh boy, I keep getting shot up. Also, I don't know if I feel like my field of view is a lot wider as well, which it's kind of not a surprise. Like my field of view is absolutely massive right now because when you have so many more pixels, I mean, imagine playing Roblox in like an ultra-wide monitor or even 2 monitors or something like that. I've done that before. The thing is, my second monitor is above me, and I can't even use it on my new graphics card because if it's a different DVI port, which I'm not sure which type it is. So I did configure the monitor, got boosted the colors, changed the contrast and brightness and stuff like that. It does look quite a bit better. I probably want to turn the contrast up a little bit, which I'm going to go ahead and do right now. You guys can't see this, I'm pretty sure. So, alright, let's turn contrast up just a little bit. Oh yeah, that looks a lot better. Okay. So there is this thing called shadow control on my monitor, and it was pretty high, and it made everything look really bright. But now I turned that off, and now it looks absolutely gorgeous. I mean, the blacks are nice and deep, and the whites are nice and bright. I mean, even the neon lights and stuff like that. It looks as good as my TV, but it's in 4K, so everything looks... I mean, yeah, it's kind of annoying that it's tiny, but it looks so sharp. I mean, even the simple textures and stuff like that. Like, you know, it was especially a big issue with my TV where I get all these jaggies. And jaggies are just like little pixelation on the corner of the graphics and stuff. You guys will know what I'm talking about, especially if you play on a big screen and stuff like that. And again, this monitor is also 1 millisecond. It's 60 hertz, by the way. That would be absolutely insane if you had more than 60 hertz on a 4K monitor. But it just looks absolutely amazing. Okay, 50 contrast is just a little bit bright, but I think it should do for now. The colors are pretty decent. They could be a little bit better. I mean, I did boost the colors, so they are pretty good now. It is a TN panel, so I was aware of that, by the way, and I didn't really mind a TN panel because you can just change the colors anyway, and I'm actually quite satisfied with it. I'm probably going to boost the colors probably just a tiny bit more. Also, I noticed my TV also had a bit of an issue with the colors. If I boosted them, I kind of got like frame tearing within the colors. Got a little bit annoying, but this monitor doesn't do that. I mean, the mouse movement and like general gameplay, it looks a little bit smoother just because there's a faster response rate. And there's probably a little bit of less input lag, but I don't really notice it either. Make sure if you do use a TV, you make it a dead panel by turning off all the filters and settings and stuff like that. Otherwise, you'll get more laggy gameplay and also higher input lag, and it'll probably mess up certain things too. So, for example, when I first plugged in my TV like 1 or 2 years ago, everything just looked so bad because sharpness was turned all the way up. I mean, all the text had like blurry like stuff over. Oh boy. And these guys are just committing suicide on top of this ladder, but I can't even tell how long I've been recording because that's how small the recording icon is. I think I'm at 4 minutes now, I believe, if I'm correct. Not sure. I hope this 4K video works as well. It'll probably take a massive amount of time to upload, and it's probably like killing my SSD right now and killing my space. But let me know if you guys want 4K videos. I'm probably not going to do it just because, you know, it just takes up a lot more space and stuff like that. But it is pretty cool. I mean, especially if, you know, you want to watch videos in 4K, which you can't really see too much of a difference if you don't have a 4K monitor. Oh yeah, I should try YouTube videos in 4K. I wonder how that looks. I mean, even the grass textures, the rocks, like, they don't really look blurry anymore. Everything just looks really smooth. Even when I was shooting over there, you know how on like a 1080p screen, this looks kind of blurry far away? That it doesn't look like that anymore. I mean, Roblox textures are pretty bad, but they just look a lot sharper now. But yeah, this is definitely awesome. Do I recommend 4K? Yes, I do, especially if you have the graphics power to push it. You probably want something bigger than a 28-inch screen if you're doing 4K. If you look at Barnacles or Barnacles, whatever you want to call him, he has triple 4K screens, and they're 50-inch, and they look pretty nice too. I mean, the 1080p 32-inch TV, there was a little bit of blurriness just because you're playing on such a huge panel. Because if you compare it to like my laptop, for instance, that's a 15-inch 1080p screen. It looks, the graphics and stuff look a little bit sharper on there just because you have more pixel density and stuff like that. Even on phones, for instance, if you have a higher resolution screen, if you look very closely, like stuff, especially on the edges and text, looks sharper. And especially, that's the first thing I've noticed on this monitor, is the text looks so much sharper because there's so many more pixels. And it's 4 inches smaller, too. The overall monitor is a lot smaller because the bezels are a lot tinier, too. I mean, it's a quality feel. I bought this monitor for $350, and that's honestly pretty good. And I stayed away from Samsung and Asus because I've heard bad things about them. This AOC monitor is pretty awesome, and my second monitor is actually AOC, and it's a good monitor. Overall, pretty happy with it, and it's overall really quality build. It's got like an aluminum brushed finish in the back. I mean, it just looks really nice, and it had all the cables and stuff included with it too, which is probably worth a couple extra dollars. But anyways, enough doing a review of this, talking about my monitor and stuff like that. But it's really actually pretty exciting because you know, when you get these huge upgrades and stuff like that, it kind of completely changes how you do things. Yeah, it will take a while to get used to. I definitely love playing on it though. Everything just looks really, really sharp. I mean, it's super crisp and clear. I mean, I don't see anything that looks blurry except for these textures and stuff. I mean, that's the texture itself though. But I think next after this, once I get off this game, I'm going to go try Doom in 4K. You know, the new Doom game. That game looks absolutely amazing in max graphics. I probably won't be able to max it out. I'll probably run it on high or ultra instead of nightmare, but we'll try it out. And that's the cool thing about 4K too, is that you don't need to run like filters and stuff like that take up a lot of performance, like anti-aliasing and anisotropic filtering and stuff like that. I think I'm saying that right. Or AF or AA, because it's already so sharp that you can't really see the difference already. So you don't really need to run them. MSI is the same thing too. Like when I went from 2 times to 8 times on Dirt Rally, I didn't see a difference because it's already super sharp. But yeah, it is pretty awesome. Anyways, guys, peace. I guess this will be some channel news for you guys. Also, I will make the 100K sub specials soon. I really do apologize for that. I'm just busy with school. I mean, it's pretty bad, and I'm making a video today already. But, you know, peace. And subscribe, like, leave some comments. This is absolutely awesome. Hopefully this uploads in 4K because that would be amazing. And hopefully it works out properly because I've been recording for a while. So, yeah, this file size is probably going to be absolutely massive. Peace.